Here's a closer look at my modded PC with all the fancy lighting and RGB. Looks very pretty. On the back here is the radiator, which I had to mount on the outside because it was too big to fit in my case. So I mounted it and then I just took the tubing outside and then attached it to the back. Inside the case is the water block over there, the RGB water block. Very cool looking. Changes colors and stuff. And then the tubing from the pump goes down and out and then through the thing and out there. Very fancy looking. And then we have this, which is pretty cool. I've had this for ages, and it's actually cold cathode liquid neon light or something like that. That's what they called it. And I thought it was super fancy with the lightning effect, so I put it in there. And it's been in there for 10 years. Still hasn't burnt out yet. And then we have, finally, we have the LED strips. As you can see, a piece of it there. It goes all the way from the top there, all the way down to the bottom, and then stops at the end over there. So I have this remote, which I got with the LED strips, as you can see. You have brightness, you have the top part is all for the RGB stuff. You can turn it on and off, raise brightness and whatnot. This middle bit here is for the UV part, so the ultraviolet light. And you can set the brightnesses from 25 to 100, or you can do it there. And you can turn it on and off. And then at the bottom is jump 3, fade 3, jump 7, fade 7, flash, and auto, and quick and slow. This is the stuff that's going to make my PC look like a nightclub rave. And I will show you this. It's really cool. So it's on jump 7 right now, as you can see. And if I want, I can slow it down as I press this. See how it slows down? And then I can make it fast and watch how fast it'll go. There. It just goes crazy. Flashing. It's awesome. And then there's also fade 7, which is actually different. So it actually cycles through them from bright to dim through each color. And I can set the speeds as well on that. As you can see. Very cool stuff. And then last but not least, well, there's still this flash, which is kind of interesting because it's all it is just the UV light that flashes like that, which is pretty cool. And then the last thing is auto, which is something that I really like. It's probably my favorite of the whole thing. As you can see, I press auto and it cycles through everything. Every single type of option you have on the remote, as you can see. Very cool. So yeah. And then lastly, on the front of my case is the computer itself, the front part. Really cool plate I have on the front. And then the grill at the bottom, which I really like too. Tells the CPU temperature, but I don't really have it near the CPU, just sitting inside the case because I didn't want to put it in. And then in here is basically my optical drives and the pump right here. As you can see, pump flow 3300 RPM. Flow meter I don't have installed yet, but I can modify. The pump has actual lighting inside, and I can basically modify all of this. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically my computer, which is pretty damn awesome.